Yo, guys, what's going on? It's your girl Skills. Welcome to another episode of the Spark Something podcast. Thank you guys for coming back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for lending me your ears one more again. I greatly appreciate it. I realize with this podcast that I've tried to do so many different things, so many different avenues. I've listened to other podcasts. I've listened to, other people because I do enjoy listening to podcasts, consuming information, gathering information, and flipping things, trying to make it my own. And then I realized, like, I'm on a journey now of self discovery. And being on this journey of self discovery, I am just slowly enjoying the journey. There are some highs, there are some lows, but I'm realizing that I'm me and I'm one of one, and there is nobody else that is like me. There is nobody else that has my DNA. There is nobody else that has my fingerprint. God created me, and it could have been it could have been somebody else. But I'm here. And I thank God that I do have the opportunity to live this life out. I have not always felt that way, but I thank God that He's given me the chance to live, breathe, move, and just do and just be here and be who He's called me to be. Um, there were times in my life to where I wasn't completely happy. I wasn't completely honest with myself. And I realized that I had to be honest with myself. In the last maybe month and a half to 2 months, I have been genuinely living in my own reality. I've been living in my own life. I've been having to deal with like just me. I've been having to fully confront the good, the bad, the ugly. I've been having to go to God and be transparent. And some of you might be saying, hey, well, is that not what we've been doing all of our lives? Some of us may not be. But I do know that there comes a time to where, there might be a part of you that you don't really want to see. There might be a part of you that you don't really want to confront. And I've looked at these things as, trials, tribulations. But as of right now, I'm looking at it as growth. And I thank God for growth. I realize that, God blessing me to see another day means that I still have a chance. That means that there's still room and space to grow and to be who he's calling me to be. There's still room and space to do what he's calling me to do. I've said this before, the world will rush you and the world will make you feel as though where you're at and what you're doing is not enough. Where you're at and what you're doing, you should be doing more all the time. You haven't reached your fullest potential. And to be honest, unless, it's your last and final day, then you still have time. If God is still waking you up, I want what I needed to do years ago. I wasn't ready. But what I'm doing now, I thank God that I'm actually living in the moment. I'm living in the process. I'm living in the progression. I'm living in the setbacks. I'm living in the now. And in order for me to fully accept who God has called me to be and fully just be able to listen to what God is telling me, like I have to live in right now. I can't live in 2 days from now. I can't live in 2 years from now, 2 weeks from now. I can't live in my past. And I realize that there have come, times and places and spaces and things where I have genuinely lived in my past. But I have to realize that where I am right now is exactly where God needs me to be. So where you are right now is exactly where God needs you to be. I have lived my life for so long for other people. I have lived my life for so long feeling like I'm behind or feeling as though there's like this certain point that I need to reach. And what happened, I logged out of all of my socials. So I'm not really on social media right now. So my main focus is to just focus on one thing. My husband used to tell me that when we were just dating. He was like, I know you got a lot of dreams, you got a lot of goals, you got a lot of things that you want to do. But the one thing I'm going to tell you to do is just focus on one thing. You focus on one thing, you master that thing, that becomes something that you can, have under your belt. I'm paraphrasing because he gave it to me straight and to the point. That's one thing that you can have and hold on to, and then you move on to the next thing, and you just grow from there. And I couldn't necessarily see that because I always felt like I was running this race. I'm running this race, and as soon as I wake up, I have to hit the ground running a race. I have to hit the ground just going absolutely no, like I don't know where I'm going, don't know the direction. And I'm like, God, I know that you are leading me. I'm just gonna run. What if God needs me to be still? What if God needs me to just wait? I can't do any of that because my mind is always on go. It's always on speed. It's always on, we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving. If we stop, if we slow down, then life is passing us by. And I'm not saying that we sit in a space to where we know when it's like we have to feel this unction to know from God when it's time to move. But with life and with the world system, we'll never have like an idea of when that movement is. So we have to turn our face and turn our ears towards the voice of God. We have to turn things off and turn things down. And we have to really be in tune in this season, in this moment, in this time. Us as believers, I'm talking to my believers, we have to be more sensitive to the Holy Spirit. We have to be more sensitive to the voice of God because there's direction, there's correction, there is rebuke, there is understanding and clarity. There are things and instructions that God wants to give us that if we don't slow down and we don't take the time to really like sit and rest in him, then we'll miss it. We'll miss it. We'll miss the direction and the instruction that he's trying to give us in this season. If all we're doing is consuming from this minister, this pastor, or so and so this, or deacon this, and pastor this, and preacher man this, or preacher woman this, then we won't hear the voice of God correctly. If we're just taking in everything and everybody all at once because it sounds good. Oh, that's it's feeding something in me. How about we take a second, take a step back, say, okay, God, what is it that you need me to do? I need clarity. And we wait for an answer. That's the hard part, because in this society in 2026, nobody's waiting for God to give them an answer. Nobody's waiting for clarity. Nobody's waiting for direction. Nobody's waiting for correction. We want what we want now. And a lot of us want and I'm saying us because I'm gonna group myself into this. A lot of us want what we want because we want to prove something to somebody else that didn't see us, or we want someone to notice us. We want somebody to see like, oh, well, God is using me, this is happening, that is happening in my life. I'm not a failure. We want the recognition that comes with the name. We want the recognition that comes with the direction. We want to be recognized. But the Bible says if he be lifted up, he will draw all men to himself, not to you, not to me. He'll draw all men to himself. So our heart posture has to be towards the Father, towards God. It can't be, okay, I'm only doing this for right now. I'm only doing this because I need somebody to see something, or I'm trying to see what I can get out of it. That's crazy talk. But as we continue to maneuver through, especially in the rest of 2026, guys, we in July. We're in July and we have the rest of 2026 to go. Do yourself a favor and don't consume everything right now. What I'm doing, and I can share a bit of why I'm on this journey. What I've been doing is I have a thought process. Um and I have a heart to be like, okay, God, I want to steward things well. I want to be a good steward. So my first thought was, I can't fix anything. I can't fix anybody. I can't steward anybody. So, Lord, I need to steward me. If I don't have anything else in the world, if I don't have relationship with people, if I don't have if I don't have a job, if I don't have money, if I don't have anything, God, I have me, myself. So the first thing that I came into the world with is just me. Yeah, I had parents, but when I came in alone, as just a person, whole, one of one. So Lord, help me to steward what you've given me, myself. You've given me, material things. All of that is great, and I'm blessed. I greatly appreciate the Lord for the doors that He's opened, the things that He's blessed me with. But help me to steward me. So while you're helping me to steward me, I need you to give me clarity on what that looks like. So my first rodeo, my first thing was, all right, we're gonna start going to the gym. Started going to the gym. Am I where I want to be? No, but I am slowly making this a habit to just get up and go. Do I want to go all the time? Definitely not, guys. I don't want to be there every day. I'm not there every day, but I don't want to be there every day I go. If I can say like every day I go, I don't want to be there. But I'm making this a habit to get up and just go. And the reason to why I'm making it a habit is because I realize that I didn't fully trust myself. If I don't fully trust myself, how could God trust me with things? How can people trust me? How could I trust people? So I'm like, okay, I have let myself down numerous of times. And that also sprinkles over into things that I want to do. I haven't been consistent with this podcast because I don't trust myself. I haven't been consistent with this podcast because I lack consistency in taking care of me. So how could I take care of this? How could I do this? I'm not good, guys. I wasn't good, guys, gals, whoever's. I wasn't good. So what I've been doing is say, okay, there are multiple things that I want to put my hands in, but the one thing that I need to do in order for me to be good in other areas is let me take care of me really quickly. Not, I don't want to do it just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Let me be intentional with how I do me. Let me be intentional with how I treat myself. Let me be intentional with how I steward my body. And if I can do that, that then begins to trickle over and open up other doors. And when that trickles over into um, the way I show up for work, the way I show up for friends, the way I show, um, the way I think about, okay, if I'm going to the gym, I'm thinking about, okay, I got to get this workout in. But I'm also thinking about outside of the gym, what am I eating? What am I putting into my body so that these workouts don't feel like crap, or I don't feel like crap after the workout, or I don't feel like crap a day, or two after? How do I fuel my body? Because that's what it is. Food is fuel. How do I fuel my body to be able to show up tomorrow or show up in 2 days from now? Or how do I fuel my body to be able to keep going? Because I don't want to just be working out just to work out. And the things that I put in my body, the stuff that I eat is trash. I can't like it cancels itself out. Like the gym, the work that I'm putting in cancels itself out if I'm eating like trash. And to be honest, the gym apparently is only 20% of the goal. The other 80 is the food. Is what you do outside of the gym. It's what you do outside of the gym. So what I'm doing just to start this off is just to be intentional. If I can be intentional, with stewarding myself, stewarding what God has given me to steward, which is just me, outside of being a wife, outside of being a friend, outside of being a daughter, outside of being a coworker, outside of being an employee, whatever. How am I taking care of me? Because if I can take care of me, everything else has to line up with how I take care of myself. I'm not going to just allow anything in my space. I'm not just going to allow anybody in my space. I'm not going to allow a lot of things to fly. I can't, because it's not just me working out. It's not just what I put in my body, like what I eat. It's also what I'm allowing to attach itself to me, what I'm allowing to attach to me, who I'm allowing to attach to me. Because there's a quote that says, you show me who your friends are. Something about if you show me who your friends are, I'll it'll show you who you are, or something like that. Or if you're surrounding yourself around um you know 5 broke people, you'll be the six. If you surround yourself around 6 millionaires, you'll be 5 millionaires, you'll be the six, something like that. It's pretty much saying whatever you surround yourself around, or who you surround yourself around, is eventually who you will become. Sometimes we don't all, if we don't have the strength, the room won't change when we come, because we haven't been stewarding ourselves. We haven't been taking care of ourselves. We haven't been sitting and dwelling with God. So the room isn't drawn back to God. It honestly will draw us away from Him. It will draw us away from our goals. It will draw us away from the things that we want to do, because we haven't poured back into ourselves. We begin to look like the room. The room doesn't look like Christ because we're in it. The room shift what we look like because we haven't been sitting enough. We've been so consumed with consuming the things around us. We've been so consumed with consuming from other people that we haven't sat with God. We haven't allowed Him to pour into us. We haven't allowed Him to empty us out and pour back into us, because we're so ready to, like, just go and move and do everything all at once. And there comes a time where all of that stuff has to, like, you have to drop it off. All of that stuff has to go. We can't, as believers, we can't move like the world. We can't move like we don't know who we are. We can't move like we don't know whose we are or where we're going. We can't move like we don't know the end goal. We got to move with the end in mind. You feel me? We got to move with the end goal in mind. We got to move with the end goal within us, because it is. We have to be intentional with what we do, what we say, where we go. It's that deep. FYI. It is. And take it, if we don't take it for what it is, we'll get lost. And we'll be like a leaf in the wind, being blown from whatever way the wind is blowing. I'm hoping that you guys are actually just receiving something from this, because I just got home from the gym, and yeah, it dropped in my spirit to just, like, talk about it. And I want to just encourage you guys, anybody that's listening, whoever this is for. I want to say it's okay, bro, to miss out on some stuff. It's okay, sis, to not be everywhere all the time. It's all right sometimes to say no. It's okay sometimes to take a step back and allow God to heal the parts of you that you've been avoiding. Trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy. But with God, all things are possible. It's a process. It's an ongoing process, but it's something that you have to genuinely trust God, and you have to move with Him. I'll say this last thing, and then I'm gonna say peace, deuces, and you guys can run this back if you want. So this was about where we're 2026, 2015. So about 11 years ago, I got into a car accident, and I was coming home with a coworker of mine at the time, and we lived in the same apartment complex. I was in the passenger side. We were making a right turn. We were getting off the main road, about to make a right turn. My coworker had just put the blinker on. As soon as he put the blinker on, wham! Somebody comes from behind him, full speed, whacks the car. You hear me? Just whacks the back of it and pushes us in the middle of the road. The guy behind that hit us, or woman, whoever, they could not make the turn. They were making the same turn we were making, but because we were like right there, dead center, they couldn't turn. So what they did was they backed up one more time and hit the gas and whap, hit us again. And we went across the street in a Wendy's parking lot. We were like we went right up on the curb and we were inches away from hitting the sign. And I had never been in a car accident before. So after that, you hear tires, you hear the tires, and the guy makes the left, guy, girl, whoever makes the left, and they take off. I'm in a daze. I had my seatbelt on, coworker had a seatbelt on. I'm in a daze, and I don't realize the pain that I'm in until the next day. I didn't go to the hospital right away, by the way, because I'd never been in an accident. I didn't know the ins and the outs. But at the time, I called Anthony's mom and my mother-in-law, who wasn't my mother-in-law at the time, but she told me, she was like, don't get in the ambulance because they're gonna charge you. I said, okay, thanks for that information because I ain't got no money to pay. My coworker got in the ambulance. I drove his car back to his apartment, gave the keys to his roommate. I went to, Anthony met me and we walked upstairs. So um I then I go ahead, I wake up the next morning and I can't move. Wake up the next morning, I can't move. And I said, hey, I gotta use the bathroom. I have to wake Anthony up. I said, I can't move. Can you please help me? Because I can't get up. He comes, pulls me up by my arms. I sit up, and then he grabs me, and I stand up. So, okay, I walk to the bathroom. Cool. All that happened. All that to say, 11 years later, the pain off and on, but it's still there from time to time. Now, I'm saying all of this because I'm at the gym, and there are times where I want to push myself harder than I should, but I still have pain. From time to time, I have the pain in my shoulder, my lower back, because they told me I had a slip disc in my lower back and then my shoulder. And Anthony knows about the pain. He knows about the incident and everything. And there are times where we're doing like chest exercises or shoulder exercises, and I'm like, there's tension there. So he'll tell me, he's like, lower the weight. I don't want to lower the weight, guys. I don't want to lower the weight because I know I can push this. But he's like, lower the weight because if you don't, you can hurt yourself even more. So what do? I have to lower the weight. Do I want to lower the weight? No, I don't want to lower the weight, but I listen to him because he has a better understanding of what to do in the gym than I do. He's done this before. So I listen. I lower the weight. I'm able to pump out a couple more reps and it doesn't hurt as much or it doesn't really hurt at all anymore. I'm able to do higher reps, lower weight, everything's fine. So I said all of that to say there'll come a time to where when if we are willing to listen and if we're in a space for correction from God, there'll come a time where he whispers in, he says something to us, and because we've spent time with him, because we know him, because we are listening for correction, or we're listening with intention. I'll say it like that. We're listening with intention to receive correction or direction from him when he whispers and he says, do it this way or don't go that way. We won't be so anxious to be like, man, no, I'm going that way anyways. Because we have spent time with God. We're being intentional with how we spend our time. We are stewarding our time well with him. So when he finally does speak, we can hear him clearly. I'm hoping that made sense because God just dropped that on me. But when we have a moment to like really spend with God, we can genuinely do things in decency and in order because we're being intentional with how we're moving in our relationship with him. The world is going to speed everything up. It's going to make you feel like you're behind. It's going to make you feel like you still like you'll never have time to complete the mission. But Anthony used to always tell me one thing at a time. You work on this one thing at a time, you master that, you can go to the next thing. But I've always had to be the one to do multiple things at a time because I always felt like I was behind. I never got the opportunity to just turn everything off and kind of just sit for a second. Don't get me wrong, it's not comfortable at all. It's very, very uncomfortable, especially coming from someone that's not used to being in that space, but it's not impossible. I want to encourage you and tell you it's not impossible to do it because with God, all things are possible, but you have to be intentional with resting in Him. You have to be intentional with sitting with God. The next episode, I'll talk to you guys and I'll let y'all know what that looks like. But I'm just giving you little bitty hints and snippets and things like that. That gives me an idea to, create another episode to talk to you guys about what resting and sitting with God looks like so that we can be intentional with hearing His voice. I thank you guys for listening to this episode, for just continuing to rock with me, to rock with the podcast. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm praying and hoping that you got something from this episode. God bless each and every one of you guys. This has been your girl Skills. This has been another episode of the Spark Something podcast, and we out.